Thanks for tuning in to Bourbon Drop. I'm your host, Myron. Today, we've got the new Elijah Craig Toasted Rye on the channel. Now, you guys know how big of a fan I am of pretty much anything from Heaven Hill, so I can't wait to get into this bottle on camera and give you guys my thoughts. Let's get it. Bottom drop, bottom drop, bottom drop. If you have been a member of this channel for a long time, you know that I am not the biggest fan in the world of the Elijah Craig Toasted. It just comes across bland to me. It doesn't, I don't know, it's something in it, man. It just doesn't do it for me. The flavors are very light. They come across the palate very delicate, almost like nothing. And that's how Woodford comes across to me. I know there are huge fans of Elijah Craig Toasted out there. Matter of fact, one of my good buddies, shout out to Vaughn, he's a big fan of Elijah Craig Toasted. I actually had an extra bottle and gave him one for his birthday. That's how much I really don't, I just I can afford to give these bottles away. They're not close to my heart. And knowing that he was a fan, knowing that he was really going to enjoy that bottle, I felt like that was the best home for that bottle. Now, before we go any further, I just wanted to say, a lot of you guys watch this channel, but looking at the analytics, a lot of you guys watch the videos, but you're not necessarily subscribed. So man, please hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps me out. A lot of you guys, you enter comments, and I love going back and forth with you guys. That is one of my most favorite things that I do, even when it comes to making these videos. So just go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Let's get you part of the Bourbon Drop family. But anyway, I also want to get into the fact that we have a barrel pick. Actually, two. We picked two of the barrels out of the four. They were amazing. So we call ourselves the Poor Decisions. Shout out to Troy and Laura for coming up with the name. The Bakers are a big part of this, man. They helped us get in touch with Westward. So we are doing a single malt American whiskey from Westward, and we're doing two barrels, and they both, man, the nose on them, they nose like a bourbon, they drink like it's ridiculous, and they're just single malts. We are in the process right now. I'm doing some paperwork, trying to figure out what the best way is to get you guys these bottles. And we're back and forth about certain things we want to do with the bottles. So it might be a little bit longer of a process than when this video drops. But also it's going to be me, myself, of course, Myron from Bourbon Drop. You've got the Bakers, you've got Troy and Laura, you've got Matt from Whiskey Wisdom, you've got Carlos from Whiskey Corner, you've got Barrel Dave, you've got Sean from Echoes in Eternity. We all sat up and did just samples with Jonathan. Jonathan, he is great. Shout out to Jonathan over at Westward. And he ran us through the samples, man. And the 4 samples we had were just amazing. But it came down to 2 that we loved. We really did. So be on the lookout for that. All right, so let's get into the Elijah Craig Toasted Rye. Now, this is new from Elijah Craig. Believe it or not, it is on the ABC limited availability drop list. So you can only get one of these per customer per day. That's how limited they are to Virginia right now. But it is new from Elijah Craig. It's just basically their rye that is toasted. So it's a 51% rye, 35% corn, and a 14% malted barley. It is secondary finished in a toasted barrel. So that barrel isn't charred you have number 1 char, alligator char, number 4, number 5, blah, blah, blah. This is more so heating the inside of the barrel up, letting those wood sugars come out. And it's, like I said, it's just a toasting process. It's not charring the actual wood. So, that tends to really take some of those sharper notes off the whiskey. Now, as you can see, I've already gotten to this bottle. I like to let these bottles air out a little bit. Also, I tried to shoot an episode and we had some technical difficulties. That's why it's a little low in the bottle too. So this bottle right here, this is the regular Elijah Craig rye. These are essentially the same products, just with this one being toasted. So they put this one in the secondary barrel. All right, so I've talked enough. Let's get into the nose of this thing. heavy vanilla, and maple syrup. And the first time I tried nosing this on camera, that video that didn't go so well, I got hit in the face with like this lemon drop note. Like pure lemon just smacked me in the face. And I was like, where did that come from? After taking my first sip, that note on the nose kind of went away. Now, I'm not getting it at all now. All right, let's get into the palate. Ooh. Nice lemon, citrus note, stings the back and the sides of the tongue. So I wasn't picking it up on the palate this time, but this time it's a little more prevalent on the palate. That nice vanilla note creeps in, toasted marshmallow note, has a nice rich feel. To be 94 proof, has a nice rich feel coming across the palate. It finishes with leather, slight char, toasted marshmallow, nice vanilla across the palate, and that citrus, that like lemon citrus now is on the palate. All right, let's go back into the nose one more time. Yeah, the nose hasn't changed. It's still like super like maple syrup, heavy vanilla. Still not getting that lemon to pop back up. All right, there it is. See, I guess when I talked about it, but it doesn't come off like a lemon now. It comes off more like a pineapple now. Yeah, let's go back into the palate one more time. Nice vanilla. It's got nice vanilla. A lemony citrus note comes across the palate. Finishing with, like I said, man, it's like leather, char all the way in the back, and like this really nice toasted marshmallow note. Now, this being a $55 product, yes, $54.99. I wanted to see if it is that much better than the regular Elijah Craig, because I have had the regular Elijah Craig before, and I liked it. I did. I liked it. I even bought it in this bottle. I never bought a full-size bottle. I've only had it in the 375s. All right, let's get into the nose of this thing. A little bit of oak, a light nose, very light compared to the toasted. It's sweet on the nose. I can't necessarily pick out, like, it's got a fruity sweetness on the nose, but I can't necessarily pick out what fruit it is. I don't really get a heavy vanilla either. Now, the reason why I wanted to put these two side by side, shout out to the Bourbon Hunter, got my Bourbon Hunter Glen, is because I wanted to know, with this being 55 and this being 25 to 29, and I bought this little bottle for $19.99, if it is close to $30 better than what's normally on the shelf. You know, so let me get into the nose. What's on the shelf? Nose wise, it's definitely better. Is it 30 to whatever better? I wouldn't say that the nose is worth. It's got a richer nose. Definitely a richer, sweeter, heavy vanilla, heavy maple syrup nose compared to the regular, and just on its own in general. All right, let's get into the palate. Lighter on the palate, lighter on the flavors on the palate. The same way I pick, like, it's some type of fruitiness that I pick up in the nose. I pick that up across the palate. It's not as interesting on the finish though. Like, the finish on this one it's leather, it's toasted marshmallow, it's a little bit of char. This is very quick on the finish, and it's thinner in the mouth. But the question is it possibly $30 better? I don't know. If they said we're bringing out a toasted rye, same mash bill as our regular rye, but we're just gonna finish it in a toasted barrel, but it's gonna be $10 more, I'd be happy with that. So I would be happy with, let's say, if this is $25, this would be $35, or if this is $29.99, this would be $39.99. I would be happy with that. But man, $55 is a lot. Let's get into the breakdown. So you just heard what I said about comparing it to the regular. That's not to say that I don't like it. I just think that it is quite expensive for what it is. Is it worth the chase? I'm gonna have to say no. I cannot see myself chasing this bottle down, running after this bottle, going from store to store for this bottle. Hopefully at some point it gets to the point where the Virginia ABC has these on the shelves regularly, like they have the Elijah Craig Toasted now. But this is definitely not worth the chase. Is it worth retail? You already know the answer to that. I would like to see this thing maybe $10 higher than the normal Elijah Craig Rye. Who is it for? This is definitely for a beginner all the way up to an experienced bourbon drinker. Me, I am not always a proof hound. Sometimes I want some things that are, lower in proof. Something like the Jim Beam 7 Black, or the Jim Beam Double Oak, or the, well, it was behind me, the Eagle Rare behind me. That's a second shoot tonight, so I kind of got it set off to the side. And shout out to the Virginia ABC for, this new drop system, man. I walked in days later and I'm still seeing like Eagle Rare all over the shelves. Now, of course, I missed out on the Russell's 15 by about an hour. That's a conversation for another day. Will it always be on the bar? This bottle right here is quite a few years old, and you see where it's at. This will go quicker than this bottle. I don't know if I'll say by much, but it will go quicker than this bottle, because I actually enjoy this bottle. I think I like it. I like it a lot. But once it's gone, it's pretty much gone. At that price, I don't feel like I'm getting that much more than the regular Elijah Craig Rye. And with that being said, let the whiskey float. Never run out unless you head it to a drop. Till next time.